What's going on, good people? World, the universe. This video is not a fasting weekly video. This is more of like a protocol video. One of the ways I help myself uh, deep dive into fasting. Fasting isn't a hard thing to start off with. It's more of a difficult task to do because in this day and age, you don't see nobody really talking about it. You don't see nobody being about it. You really hear it as a secret society thing, fasting, even though it's in the main three religions, even though doctors know about it to help people. And there's retreats you can go to that can help you teach you how to fast. But there's nobody in the city, in the middle of the storm, showing people how to fast and using their life as a daily example. And that's what I want to do. So, one of the biggest things that you have to do, my eyes personally, when you're fasting is deprogram your mind. Like, you got to unlearn to relearn. You got to figure out what is the right thing for you to survive on this plane. Plain and simple is like this whole world is our home. So, no matter where you go, you got to adapt to the weather, to the people, to the animals that you're fighting off to get foods to. So, all those things come into play, and you got to understand that our ancestors didn't know what to eat all the time, and they was always traveling and moving. They was migrating all the time. They wanted to be in the best areas. They wanted to be where there's less danger. They wanted to be somewhere that they didn't have to really work that hard for food. So it came down to like what else they was doing in between time when they was going from place to place. They couldn't carry food for long periods of time. um, Processed foods is only about 60 to 80 years old. You know what I mean? What they was doing before then, refrigerators are only about 100 years old, maybe even that. You got refrigerated ice boxes before that. What was people doing to preserve food? And they didn't have a way. They had salt, but that only goes back about 1,000. Humans been here for about almost 50,000 years. What were we doing with food? Well, how were we taking food from one location to another location when we was traveling hundreds of miles without cars, with horses? You know what I mean? That was the main thing. We wasn't eating. We was carrying water. That was the only thing we need. Water, air, and light. Just like the animals that we jump on their backs, and the only thing they need is water for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles. You gotta think about that. Like a lot of people don't think about how people lived in the old Wild Wild West, and people survived. There was no food. They was running into a desert, literally. So when it comes down to it, people, the human genome, the human evolution is a lot more complex and smarter than you think. People nowadays can't even go 3 4 hours without getting something in their mouth and always chewing and eating and putting it on their belly, and they're being brainwashed and tricked that you always need something to eat to get energy, and that's not how energy works at all. Right now, I'm gonna start a 3 day fast because the moon phases is where I like it. You know what I mean? The moon gives off energy. That's why you see a lot of crazy people in the hospital around uh, full moons, and the jails are the most hostile place around the full moon because that's extra energy in the air. And it's like, all right, I'm gonna use this sacred energy that I see and that I can use and I can I can work with. You know what I mean? It's like we changing seasons right now from summer to fall to winter, and guess what? There's less fruit. So what am I doing more during the winter? I'm fasting more. You know what I mean? So that's the kickoff with this. It's a full moon this week. I'm gonna be fasting, and it's all about energy because that's why I started off with this, and I wanted a lot of clean energy. I wanted the best energy that I can run off of, and the universe delivered that to me. It was something that I asked for, something I begged for. I wanted the best energy because the way I was running before wasn't efficient. The way I was getting up from sleep 8 hours still tired, and after I eat, I was getting groggy and tired and the brain fog, and that was a constant thing after every meal. And every time I sleep, I'm always waking up tired. After I eat, I'm getting tired. I'm like, I can't function like this. I can't live like this. And then the feet pain started hurting. I'm like, oh no, this sounds like something I recognize I'm familiar with. So that's when I was like, all right, I'm gonna take my health into my hands, and that's when I found plant-based lifestyle. I tried that, got some results, but didn't get the ultimate results. Then came across a holistic lifestyle. I tried that, and yeah, that works. It's a more cleaner lifestyle, and more more sensitive lifestyle, but it works plain and simple. And then you got down to the raw fruits and vegetables and being a naturopath and being outdoors, more of an understanding that we need to be clean but also dirty at the same time. Like a lot of people don't understand that they don't want to get a little bit of dirt on their skin or a little bit of tree bark in their hair or anything that's hard. They don't want to do that, but that's nature. That's where we came from. We're a byproduct of nature. We came from nature and separated ourselves, and now we getting sick. Now we're getting sick because we're not getting enough sunlight, not enough clean water. We're not getting enough healthy foods because we moved inside and want the comfortable life. And that's what it comes down to. It's like you gotta unprogram and think that we're not a part of, like, literally they're teaching people that we're not a part of nature when we came from nature. Everything that we literally are putting in bottles and pills and bags is coming from nature. We're separating nature from what we're eating and what we're doing. Even from enjoying animals, we used to watch animals, birds to cats to big bears. Now we just watch them on TV. What's the difference? Yeah, it's a big difference because you're only seeing what the TV view wants to see you when there's a whole bigger, broader view that you need to see about this reality. And that's what being a naturopath is understand the natural rhythms and the synchronicity in nature that keeps it growing. And it's the untouched growth that is the untouched growth by man, that's God. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. Out in the space, a lot of shit's going on that we don't control. Out here in deep forests, we don't. That's shit that we don't know. And deep in the ocean, there's life still going, and we don't know what's going on. So it comes down to, like, you're better off without, plain and simple. Like when I go on 2 3 day fasts, I have the most energy and I'm most mentally clear, and I'm like on my passion. It's like the road is clear. I just gotta go. I just gotta walk. I just gotta do it. Oh, I'm not stopping to eat. No, since I'm not eating as much, my sleep is better. You know what I mean? Most of the time when you sleep, you're just breaking down all the food you have in your gut. That's all you're doing. You're not really getting good sleep. That's why I realized that when I wasn't getting good sleep, waking up still tired after 8 9 hours of sleep, is because I was eating like crap. I was eating an hour or two before going to bed, even sometimes 30 minutes, 10 minutes before going to bed. I had something right next to me I was eating, and that would make your sleep terrible. And then in my past as a kid, it was the same thing because I was a terrible sleepwalker. When I had dreams, I slept walk, and when I had nightmares, I slept walked and screamed through the house. And my mom didn't know what was wrong with me, and the doctors told her one simple thing: stop feeding him heavy fried foods before bed, 3 to 4 hours before the bed. Don't feed him no heavy foods. Well, what was happening was my stomach was breaking down everything inside of me, and it was too late. I was already asleep, and it gave me this energy. This is on a simple term. It's way more scientific evidence behind it, but on a simple term, it, it it wakes. It doesn't like wake you up. It gives you the energy that you're running in your dream in reality. Like I felt like it was real all every time. I remember I had one time I was playing with family members. I had another time I was running from the crypt keeper. Like it was some crazy shit in my dreams, but I remember sleepwalking. I scared family members like hell. Like they didn't know what the fuck was going on. And some people just like leave him alone, just let him run and scream and do whatever. And then sometimes I was perfect little sleeper. So it depends on how that lifestyle. You gotta understand that we get away with murder with our health, like plain and simple. Like as a little kid sleepwalking like that, and the doctor tells me that, oh, you gotta take away fried foods, and then fried foods and not eating before bed 4 hours. And I looked that up and it's true. And it's like, yo, where did we get this from? Eating, falling asleep with food next to us, or eating heavy meals late at night, or even doing what I was doing like as a young adult, going in the middle of the night to go to 7-Eleven to get something to eat, waking up in the middle of my sleep, still food addicted. From as a young teenager, as a teenager and a young adult, still food addicted. I don't have wake up. I don't have nothing there. I'm gonna go get something. 7-Eleven is 5 minutes away. Oh, my refrigerator is full of crap. I'm gonna go get something to eat in the middle of the night. That is terrible for you. That's terrible for your gut. You're food addicted. You're not even feeding yourself. You're feeding your parasites. Plain and simple. You got parasites in your guts waking you up, telling you, yo, we're hungry. You didn't eat enough what we like. And the only thing that puts more weight on you, eat and you sleep. I used to do that for sports. I got taught that in sports. Yo, get a sandwich, put it next to your bed in the middle of the night, get something that was heavy in carbs, eat it and fall right back to sleep. Stay up for 30 minutes and eat it and go right back to sleep. That's why I was pushed. They didn't tell me that's not the best thing to do. They told me if you want to have the best gains, that's where they get you. They get you sunk up in gains and how you gonna get bigger, faster, stronger, bigger, faster, stronger. Oh, you gotta wake up in the middle of the night, eat. Nah, man. That's the most unhealthy for you. What I know now, if I had a kid that was in high school and wanted the primer energy, yo, don't eat half a day before a game. You got a game at 4 o'clock, only eat breakfast. That's it. Not even. Not the way I'm functioning. I won't even eat breakfast the day before. I'll load up like crazy. Let that break do it all night, all morning. Around by 12, 1 o'clock, you're going to have so much energy, you know what to do with yourself. And I didn't did it. I didn't did it. I didn't fast for 2 days. Broke my fast for something good. Then the next day I had like a whole lot to do. Went through the whole day. Bust a whole day of workout and half a day. Didn't even know it. Didn't even eat. Wasn't even tired. Wanted to go find something to put me down so I can get some good sleep so I can keep it with everybody else. Cause fasting to do that with you, man. Like you'll be on these energy waves. You know what I mean? Like these energy waves that you'll be here, then you'll be down a little bit, then you'll be here because with fasting you're doing internal work. So sometimes like after you got a project inside of you that's done, you got time off and now you got that energy, you know, freed up, you know, unlocked a certain part of your body and now you done got more energy. Now you can move even faster. Now you can think even clearer. Now you can, you know what I mean? So many more things you can do. And I'm like, yeah, you can eat, but I'm saying like eating puts you in this situation. So that's where you got to switch it up and think about what you're putting in your body and how you're treating it. So this comes down how you treat your body. Like eating, late night eating is terrible. Like I was a big advocate for it. Like even as a young child, I was sleepwalking and they said take away heavy density foods at night, especially fried density foods late at night, and took that away. I ain't had that problem. I don't remember sleepwalking. After a long time, my mom explained that story to me. I remember sleepwalking, but I don't remember what corrected it. She the one that corrected it, but it was a simple thing like that. But we don't know that. You know what I mean? It isn't taught in schools. Yo, don't eat heavy meals past 6. You can eat light meals, certain fruits, yeah, but you don't really want to get into thinking like this is my time to eat. Nah. If you're bored, find something else to do. That's what people are stuck on. They're bored. They're bored eating. You know what I mean? They don't even finish the food they get. They open it up, open it out the wrapper, take 1, 2 bites. You want this? I don't want it. Or take, it look really good, but I really don't like it. Like, cause you didn't want it. You're being tricked by your palate. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta realize food addiction is real, and our palates is the main trickery of it because that's what the food is designed to do. Most of this food is designed in a laboratory and then in the chemistry kitchen. You know what I mean? A kitchen is chemistry, period. You're breaking down food and you're making a new chemistry. When you break it down, you add it to something else. You're making a new chemistry. So it comes down to that's a chemistry lab up there. God already did the work by putting the fruit on the tree and closest to the sun. That's what fruit needs to be, and that's what the most nutrient density food. Once you chop food up and you mix it with something else, you're taking certain minerals and vitamins out because certain mineral and vitamins only have a certain heat tolerance. But to cook your food to your liking, you gotta like it a certain hot, really, really hot. You got a bunch of minerals you throw in the pan that'll be empty. There'll be empty calories, empty carbs, and and that's what we're tricked into. This oil and salt diet, just heavy oils and salt. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people don't even like the food that they eat. They're just addicted to the salts. All the salts that you got in your cabinet that you put on there, and it's like crazy. It's like I know in the black community, it's crazy. You go over other people's house with salt, garlic salt in their pocket or in their purse. That's like really? You can take hot sauce. That's nothing but salt. You know what I mean? People don't even realize they salt addicted, and then there's ways you could tell on people's body when you got too much salt in your body, but nobody want to hear those telltale signs. But you gotta unlearn to relearn, educate yourself. This is a big deal. This is we're the vanguards of our bodies, and we're the vanguards of the earth, and our earth represents our body. So how you treat the environment around you is how you treat your body too. So you living in a trash environment, you're feeding yourself trash, pretty much. You know what I mean? Everything that's sitting on the counters and packages waiting for you to be eaten isn't real food. It's artificial food. It's not real food. Plain and simple. Like What am I supposed to eat? Real raw fruits and vegetables that will grow and die on its own. You don't need somebody to overheat it to kill it, or you need somebody to put it in a package to preserve it. No. God got his own preserve mechanism. You know what I mean? It's the cold, it's at night. That's when fruits chill out. But when the fruits aren't too much in the sunlight, you gotta understand how to garden too. You understand how to garden. You understand how to protect your fruits while they're still on the tree so you can literally eat them right off the branch. That's the real way. That's the way I want to. That's what I'm trying to get to in my own homestead. Is I can walk outside and eat fruit and vegetables right off the stem and off the branches, and not have to worry about the picker, the farmer, the handler, the grocery store clerk, and you know what I mean? And then the organizer all touching my fruit. I don't know what their intentions are. And people have their intentions in their hands and in their minds. Your hands and your minds is connected. So what your intentions is up here, it sends it to here. So if you are profit driven, you don't care about somebody else's health, you don't care about somebody else's well-being with that fruit, you just profit driven. Oh, I just got to do this. Just got to make this look good just for presenting. Just got to make this, just got to hurry up and pick and pull and go, pick and pull and go, pick and pull and go, and not thinking like, I need to take care of this fruit. This is something sacred for somebody else. Because that's what I do when I go pick fruit off of my fruit trees. I think about it. Blessed it. I think the universe for it. Because with all these elements around it, it wouldn't have made it. And now we're trying to replace man with God, plain and simple. We're taking the chemistry labs and turning it into, I don't even know what to call it. Because everything that we need supposedly comes out of there. The pills, make stuff in there and put it in a bag, put it on the shelves, and be like, oh, this is better than the food that's been here all along for us. Doesn't make sense. So it's the deprogramming and the relearning. Understand that it's a natural way of life, not the super artificial way of life. And that's what I wanted to talk about. Like, I wanted to push more messages out there to understand, like, yo, this is the way in my head. Because I ain't had nobody else around me. I ain't have my family. Nobody in my family fastest. Majority of people in my family are borderline overweight, and they're fighting that, trying not to be overweight, and they're trying to be underweight. And I literally was one of the heaviest persons in the family, and it came down to I mastered myself in my IBM, my body weight, my body mass index. I think that's how it's pronounced. But my IBM, I'm in there. You know what I mean? My IBM is 142 to 192, and I'm average at 188. You know what I mean? That's my average, and I feel good here. When I pass 195, that's when I feel it. And I experiment with in between 180 and 195, fluctuating at 15. And time I pass 150 and I'm headed toward, I'm at 195 and I'm heading toward 200. Yeah. And that's the funny thing, over 205 for my height is overweight. So I feel the slowdown. I feel the drag. I feel the heaviness when I hit right before 200. Then when I got up to 205, I was like, yeah, let me pull back because this ain't working. This ain't working. So you got to unprogram to reprogram yourself back to the natural way. And I open up as a clean slate, and that's why, as an open slate, you know what I mean? It's not like I got this narrow thinking about, oh, I only need this and that and the whole 9 yards, because that's what I was thinking when I got into eating fruits. Like, oh man, there's only apples and oranges and bananas and watermelons. That's my dumb ass not being educated about fruit. There's in every state that's pretty warm, you got about 5 to 10 fruits that's almost native to that state. It's gonna be a little bit different from uh, on the other side of the world or closer to the equator or southern the equator. Every state got like pretty much every state, not every state, every country. I say about 20 that's unique to that country. You know what I mean? I was only brainwashed on strawberries, banana, oranges, and apples and watermelon. And I'm like, what's a papaya? What's a mango? What's a sour sap? Well, you know what I mean? All these other melons. There's 20 different type of melons. Oh shit, you know what I mean? All these other fruits, and I'm like, man, I was cut off from fruit as a kid because diabetes hit my family, and everybody just thought that was the way. Sugar, you know what I mean? They just thought sugar would kiss everybody's diabetes. So it was about 10 good years I didn't even eat fruit, man. I say from like 12 to like 25 almost. I wouldn't eat fruit on the regular. The only time I ate fruit, oranges at like sporting events. because that's what people brought, oranges, cut up oranges, and that was about it. So when it came down to it, it was like, I didn't eat oranges at all. So that's why ever since I turned 26, I've been hardcore on my health. I've been doing a lot of things that a lot of people think is crazy, and I'm like, nah, this is the real shit. Fasting, eating raw fruits and vegetables, staying active too. Like staying actively active helps the fasting, because when you sit down and start watching TV, you want to reach for something to put in your mouth. You know what I mean? I'm to that point where I can sit down and watch TV and not eat anything. But if you're another person that's like that, you're food addicted. And we gotta unlearn that to relearn something else. So I don't want to be too long on here. That's what I wanted to talk about. So like for the algorithms, subscribe and share. Share it to people that need this. Like fasting is the truth. That's the truth. Like so much mental clarity, so much weight control, and you're bulletproof. You're durable. You know what I mean. Any diseases that come across is anything that can be a hard detrimental. You know what I mean? That can mentally help you and physically help you fasting and spiritually. There's a whole deeper part spiritually with it. That I dived into that part. That's the part I really love, the spiritual part about fasting. But there's more videos to come, more talking. You know what I mean? I like to talk about this subject. I don't got nobody else to talk to about it, so I'm gonna talk to you guys and share what I'm doing with my lifestyle, how I'm be hardcore fasting for the next 10 years until 40s. You know what I mean? After 40, you need more mineral intake. Every 20 years, you need more mineral intake than you usually do from the last 20. So around about 40, that's when I switch it up. But as of right now, I'm fasting 1 to 3 days on a weekly basis of no eating, and then intermediate fasting almost every day. So 12 plus hours, and I like to be up to the 18 and 20 intermediate fastings on a normal basis. So keep those windows small, make more money, and enjoy the time I'm here. You know what I mean? I love this place and want to be here a long time to enjoy it and the people that's here. So love you all. I'll talk to you later. Peace.